as I start to apply pressure, he can invert right there and make his way out. So now we're going to talk about the most important element of finishing this thing, if you actually want to tap good people with it, is stopping them from inverting. So you do that by keeping the knee flared. So I'm going to show you even without this lock here. If I have a toe, sure, let me just let go of the ankle there for a second. I've got his toe bent right here, and he starts to roll underneath, so Granby underneath kind of. It takes the pressure off of that toe. I can no longer hold it. Okay, let's do it again. Now he has to go through a little moment right there where this thing is bent. He has to go through a little moment where he's like, oh, I'm tightening it just for a second. So go ahead and start to twist. But if he can make it through that moment, then he clears out of the sock lock. Let's do it one more time. So in order to stop that, what I have to do is keep the knee flared outside of his hip right there. That allows me now a space to push his toe to. Can you invert now? That's gonna be super duper hard. And imagine also now that I'm trying to break your foot during that process. That's what it's gonna look like. So if I go into the sock lock here and I don't keep the knee flared, then as I start to apply pressure, he can invert right there and make his way out. Right? Again, that doesn't mean that you won't tap people when they try to invert. You will, and I'll show you some of that stuff later. But if I keep, look how I keep his knee flared when I turn that corner. Can you invert now? Not without breaking your foot. Not without breaking your own foot. Because that inversion tightens it for just a second. And so when I keep the knee flared to the outside, I can put my body now in a position where I can force the toes that way more and more. And the more you begin to invert, the more pressure you put on your own toe right there. So a super crucial detail to having a high level sock lock. It's obviously a mistake on his part. I mean, he made mistakes already. He's mounted, you know? So people will do desperate things when they find themselves in poor positions. That's why we want to strive to stay on top and dominate the player.